It's been about a month since I met Dr. Rick Amy at the Healing for the Ages conference. Right before I went down to the conference, I had an acute trauma on my left elbow, throwing some lumber around, building a music studio, and I tore a ligament in my elbow, and it popped, made a lot of crunchy noise, and I went down to Healing for the Ages, ran into Rick Amy, and I ran into his true laser. And so he started treating me twice a day for about 3, 4 days while I was down there with this device right here, one of the true lasers. And what's cool about it is that it also pairs with this stuff here called Lactigo. Now, Lactigo has some menthol in it. It also has some carnitine and magnesium. And what's cool and what we're going to do today is part of the treatment protocol that he gave me is we just take some of this Lactigo. This is for athletes and also for home use. We just take a little bit of this and we put it on the area that's affected. So I tore right through this area. And so I'm just going to take this and rub it in really good. Now what's happened is because I've tried to limit my use to let this rest, but I have some up here, some muscles that are tightening up. To protect this area because I've been using it. And so I'll just rub this in really good. And then I'm taking my thumb here. And I've been kind of working it out. It's very tight through here. But what's been really neat is that I had a lot of inflammation in this area. And as long as I'm lasering twice a day, most of the inflammation is almost non-existent. So I'll just rub that in really good. And again, I'm doing the top end here as well because I have some tight muscles in here. So now I'll show you how to do it. So you take this top button here and you turn it on by holding it. The second button is the timer. So I'm going to go 20 minutes. This button is for the laser and this button is for the stem. So now that I've got laser on level 1, which is where it flickers, then I'm going to touch the on button. And then now you can see that the laser is bopping. So there's actually six diodes that are at 808 nanometers, and there's 6 other diodes that are 650 nanometers. So there's 12, and you can only see 6 of them. Some of them you can't see with the naked eye. And so what I'm doing now is what I was taught by Dr. Amy is I'm taking that Lactigo stuff that I just put on myself, and I'm driving it into the tissues. I'm driving it into the cell with this pulsed laser. And so I'll just do this. Now, typically, I'm going to do this a little bit longer. I will do this until all the Lactigo is completely dry. But for time's sake today, I'll speed it up a little bit. So I'm really hitting the area where the tear is, which is nice. And what's happening now is this is called photon phoresis, which I learned. And it's basically increasing the energy in the cell mitochondria, and in the muscle tissue. And so when you have tight muscle tissue, what I learned is you have to charge it up in order for it to relax, right? Just as you'd have to charge up the muscle to get it to contract, you also have to charge it up to get it to relax. And so my muscles and stuff are tight in here due to this injury, and this is helping to relax them so they're not so tight. And it really helps on these compensating muscles too in these other sections that have been tightening up to kind of guard me from movement. All right, so now that we've driven that Lactigo in there, driven in the menthol, the carnitine, and the magnesium to relax, and we've done the photon phoresis, we've energized the muscle. Now I'm going to switch over and I'm going to push if you look here, that's the laser, and then I'm going to put stem. Now that's first level. It goes 2 levels, 3 levels. I'm just going to go on second level because I know I like that one. And now I'm going to directly put that on the area that's affected. And so then I'll move that around a little bit. And again, for time's sake, I won't hold it as much. But so from here over to here, it's kind of where the tear is. And so I'm just going to I probably hold it here for a few minutes. So I'm doing this treatment about 20 minutes. So I'll keep it here for 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'll move it to this area where the tear was. I'll move it to this area where the tear was. And then I'll move it up above the tear. down below the tear, and then I actually start working on these other muscles that are tightened up that have compensated for that. Um, I did want to point out, and then when I'm done, it'll beep off, or if I'm done, I can just hold the button and it shuts off. Comes with a nice little carrying case. It also comes with this little manual here, this True Laser manual by Dr. Amy. And one thing that I wanted to point out, what I thought was good, is like, what are some of the benefits? Well, therapeutic laser biological effects. Number one, it's very anti-inflammatory. So it reduces swelling quite quickly, which I experienced in bruised or inflamed joints or injuries, which enhances mobility. You get rapid cell growth. Laser accelerates cellular reproduction and growth. You get faster wound healing. Laser stimulates fibroblast development and accelerates collagen synthesis in damaged tissue. It increases metabolic activity, higher outputs of specific enzymes, greater oxygen and food particle loads for blood cells, and thus greater production of the basic food source for the cells, adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Also has reduced fibrous tissue formation. Laser reduces the formation of scar tissue following the tissue damage from cuts, scratches, burns, or post-surgery. I remember Dr. Amy was talking about that. He had some scars, and he was hitting them with the laser, and they're all flat now. So that's exciting. You could use it for scars too. Increased vascular activity. So the laser induces temporary vasodilation, increasing blood flow to damaged areas. So just, opens up those veins and capillaries so they get more blood flow. Stimulated nerve function. Slow recovery of nerve function in damaged tissue can result in dead limbs or numb areas. Laser speeds up the process of the nerve cell reconnection to bring back motor and sensory innervation. So there's a lot of people that have neuropathy and stuff like that. One other point that I read in here that I thought was really cool, a couple things to know, is that the research has shown that pulsed laser therapy is 10 to 40 times more effective than non-pulsed lasers. So that's awesome, because this is a pulsed laser therapy. Also, a lot of people are like, well, what's the difference between red light and laser? Well, red light is kind of like a light bulb. It's good. I have a red light therapy device right behind the camera here that I do twice a day, every day, and I sit in front of it. But it's different. It's not as concentrated, not near as powerful to create that energy in the cell mitochondria so the nerve can get active or relax. And what Dr. Amy says, and I completely agree, is that the nervous system, you cannot heal unless you're relaxed. So is the first thing I actually do is I turn on the laser and I turn on the stem and I hit my vagus nerve on this side. And I do that for a couple minutes. Then I put on the Lactigo. Then I hit it with the laser, and then I hit the stem, and then I put it on and finish it. It's about 20 minutes. So a couple minutes here. I do the Lactigo and until it dries with the pulse laser, and then I'll hit the stem, and then I'll hit it until I'm out of time, about 20 minutes. I'm very happy that I have this True Laser in my home for any injuries and stuff like that. And being a 52-year-old athlete, another thing that Dr. Amy said, which is really cool, is like a lot of the NHL athletes are actually using the lasers ahead of time. So they're hitting the ankles and the knees and all the areas that normally would get hurt and certain muscles and stuff like that ahead of time. And then if they do have an injury, they're seeing like much more rapid recovery times. Instead of taking 12 to 16 weeks, somebody can be healed up in like 4 to 6 weeks, roughly in that area. So anyway, I think it's a great product. Very excited to have it in my home. And I hope you can check it out and get one in your home. It's just one of those things for me. It's like learning how to become your own doctor and self-heal. And with the booklet, there's all kinds of different, issues: neuropathy, body balance, vagus nerve stimulation, acne, eczema, allergies, Bell palsy, blood sugar balance. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, wound healing and burns, wrinkles, skin, lymphatic system, microbiome. There isn't very much that the laser's not going to help with. And I think it's a great device to have in your home. Till next time, change yourself, change your world, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.